welcome, folks. Welcome to Talk TV Media Network, an edition of the week. Welcome to the Spotlight, Political Spotlight, here at Talk TV Media Network. Those of you following us on Facebook and other media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, wherever you're following us from, welcome to the show. This is the day that we talk nothing but politics of the week. Whatever took place this week, we give you a full recap of what it looks like out there. Campaign is crazy in LRB. You know, it's no joke because it seems like the gloves are about to come out. Yeah. Seems like George Weah, the CDC, they bring in their gloves out, and sooner or later, the PAPE, you know, JMB and the Unity Party and the collaboration, from all indications, are about to bring their gloves out as well. But welcome to the show, man. This is where we discuss the politics of the week, wherever you are, you know, all the happenings of the week. My name is Sam Gadu. Before I get into the show, y'all, I'm going to give you your own music. Soniga. Everybody get their hero. You know, the journalists are doing their hero. The politicians are doing their side. They are part of the game. Everybody doing their own era, you know. So that's what's going on, y'all. That's what's going on. The doctors are doing their own. The nurses are doing their own. The voters are doing their own. Everybody get their era. Yeah. The chichi police, they're all doing their own. No kidding. No joke, folks. Like the show, share the show. Yeah. Everybody get their era.
Some people got a hero to make a market. Some people got a hero to make you. Your hero is your hero. My hero is my hero. My hero. My hero. My hero. My hero. Yes, they're going to show. What about the some people to make a market. Some people to get in the street. Some people to get inside of it. My is music. I say.
Yes, folks. Welcome to another show. Welcome to Talk TV Media Network. This is the day we talk politics every Saturday here at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, and of course, 5 p.m. Liberian time. You know, so welcome to the show, all of you. Share the link. Be a part of the show. We love to hear from you as well. You know what your take is. You know, those of you who on WhatsApp, and you have the WhatsApp numbers right there on the screen, or here in the US, you can call in to the show and be a part of the show. You know, let us know as to what is going on, you know, what your take is, the politics of the week. A lot has been going on, and we are yet to see more taking place when it comes to the politics in Liberia. You know, but because the gloves are about to come out. That's what's happening. Campaign is everywhere. We saw the CDC 1 million rally just took place two days ago. You know, we saw a lot of trucking being done, a lot of trucking taking place. People are coming in, the seditions. And of course, many analysts are talking about the show about the ATS, those that actually know CDC to be CDC. There's no need for them to use ATS, because if they knew very well that they have massive supporters and the government is on their shoulders, folks, why not use the SKD, Sport Complex? That's what they should have done. But if you have to pay so much money to trucking people to come to your political rally, if you have to pay the pen boys, if you have to pay the motorcycle, the tricyclists, all of them to come to your political rally, that's a warning. That's a sign of warning, folks. I'm telling you. That is a sign of warning for the CDC party to stand still, to rethink their strategy. That's it. They have to rethink their strategy, as in, is this working or not? Because we saw George Weah in the past 6 years, past elections 6 years ago. Compared to that now, no, it's not working. It's not working. And every time, something that is baffling me is every time they are having these massive rallies, one way or the other, someone has to die. That's unfortunate. Is it because when campaign officially resumed, was proclaimed by NEC, is it a result? Is it a cause of CDC coming out and taking casket on the head, of another political candidate? Is that the result of what we are seeing? Because that was inhumane to do in anyone's sound mind. Wishing someone else's death. I mean, the people that are dying. Just a few weeks ago, when President Weah went to Bummy, the seditions that die. That's unfortunate because they are Liberians. The $1 million rally that just took place, someone died as well. What is going on? What message is God sending to the nation and the politicians? If I want to vote for you, if I like you, you don't have to pay me a dime. I will pay my money. I will show up. Because why? I love the party. But if I coerce you, if I offer you money to support me, my support is not guaranteed. Because at the end of the day, I'm going alone in that ballot box, in that ballot booth. I could betray you as well. Many people are doing this because people are struggling. There's a lot of hardship in the country. The nation is struggling. And so they have the money. So people are going to go out irrespective. But we look at the crowds. We saw the crowds. We saw after the president's speech, the entire program was a little frustrating because whoever they hired to handle the system, the PA system, I mean, that was another frustrating part because people could not even hear the president speak. And so as a result, he had to rush out. The musicians were the only one, DJs, those who were singing were the only one we were hearing. When it came for the president and his government officials, cabinet ministers, all surrounded around him to speak, the PA system went down. Is that a bad sign? Is that a bad sign? I'm serious. For those of you who are watching, who did not watch, let me show y'all this because oh, I didn't even upload that. I wish I would have uploaded that so I could show it to you guys. This is it. This is the ATS, folks. They were frustrated. They were frustrated. I'm telling you, the president was frustrated with what happened because they pay these guys to handle the musical system, the PA system. So if you're having this kind of mass rally, you ought to prepare far ahead of time, wherein in the entire stadium there are speakers mounted, because you want to make sure that your message is sounding, is resounding. It goes far and near, even for those who could not enter the ATS and those who were outside the ATS. They needed that. But even those around the president could not hear the president speak. This leads me to ask the question, is the president ready? Is CDC ready at this time? Are they prepared at this moment? Because it's not working. Frustrating. You could see the president and all Samuel Toy, all this entourage. Everybody was just leaving. Huh? I'm not the one saying it. It was there. And many of you that watched the entire ceremony. George Weah liked to talk. He could not talk for 5 minutes. 5 minutes he couldn't talk. That's what happened, folks. Look at this. ATS. Frustrating. But when we go on the flip side, right, on the CDC side, or not CDC, the UP side, Unity Party JMB, this is one. I have all these so I can balance the show for you guys to make an informed decision here. This is where you can see that the Unity Party and the collaboration are gaining tracks and gaining momentum. This is the Unity Party, y'all. This is the Unity Party. Look at that. You don't have to, none of these people were forced or trapped to come in, to support the Unity Party, to support the rescue team. The people are fed up. They are just tired. Look at this. Let me move this off the screen so you will know what I'm talking about. Look at that. This was the scene of the week. This is what I'm talking about. And so if you can learn, if you can't hear anything, if you can see with your eyes what is happening, what is trending in the country, then I don't know when you're going to see. This is what I'm talking about, y'all, folks. This. I'm going to go through these pictures here quickly. The footage here very quickly so you can see. The people are yearning for a better Liberia. Liberians are yearning for a better Liberia, for a vibrant society, for a good economy. Folks, this is what's happening in the country. And wave and wave and wave. Wherever the Unity Party goes, wherever, even if it has to do with three hours or 4 hours, a timeline given, announcement given out, the people trucked in. They pile up, folks. That is what's taking place. And so we go throughout the week to bring you the analysis of what's happening. Listen to this. When the president had that 1 million march, whatever campaign nationwide, this going Thursday. Listen to what he said after his frustration. He was frustrated not with what happened, but you could see the frustration. And instead of taking the frustration on the organizing committee of the party, those who steering the party affairs for the election, he taking it out on Spoon Network, on someone who has been accused or who's found guilty to go to jail. Look at him.
Sometimes, let me just say, people that try to ridicule people, they say they are clean, they're good, they're not for all. And these are the people going to jail and they stay talking for other people. How you can be the best person in the world, you're the most honest person in the world, you're going to jail. And the people that want to stay here and working. People that go to jail, they're the one talking that we corrupt. But you see, sometimes those that voice out, they're corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Somebody want to now save their life because they're going to the dodger of cockroach. You understand? You understand? All the time they do. Yeah. Bonjour, ignoramus, macatus,
See, those of you who have studied body language, when you see the president's body language, you could tell that he was very, very frustrated with this rally that just took place. He didn't even know whom to attack, but Stanton Witherspoon. And where Stanton is right now, he doesn't care. He knows that he's going to go to jail for a long time. But he doesn't. He wants to make sure that he doesn't, that George Weah is never elected. So while Weah is doing that, he's giving him credence. He's making him more famous. Who doesn't know that Stanton Witherspoon will be going to jail? So you see, it is the frustration of the rally that the president had to take it out on Spoon. Forgetting the bread and butter issues that the nation's supposed to, the tangibles that you are talking about, the tangibles that CDC over the past 6 years have done. That is what they need to talk about. Those of you who watching, you want to come on the show, just tell me. I will send you the link. You come on the show, right? The tangibles that CDC supposed to be talking about, they're not talking about those tangibles. They're talking about trivial issues that are of no concern. The rising cost of living in the country. Schools are about to open. Parents do not have money for tuition. You're not addressing that as a leader of the nation. Schools are opening, and you say free tuition. Most parents are worried, are concerned how their kids will go to school this year. And you have 50 million budget to run a campaign. Right? And you're cutting people salaries and pays, harmonization, $150 to $45. I'll do the math for y'all because Liberians don't get this. If I'm receiving $150 a month under Ellen Johnson's relief, and George Weah took over, and he cut my pay by more than half, and I now only get $45. $45. The rest goes to George Weah. And he uses that and say, I will pay your children's tuition for free. And Liberians don't get it. Liberians don't understand that, what is going on. Folks, don't you think that $150 that you earn, that you were supposed to get as a parent, that you could pay your own child tuition, you have enough food left in the house, you pay some of your rent at the same time? But now he's paying your child tuition. But all the other fees, registration fee, whatever fee, capable fee, whatever textbook fee, everything now you still have to pay out of pocket. It's common sense. Do the math. These people are not helping the country. They're not helping you, the voters. And it is time to rise up. Rise up with a better mind. Wake up from your slumber. Wake up from your sleep, Liberians. Have common sense. See reason. And realize that these guys have been using you, squandering the nation's resources to enrich themselves. Any well-meaning Liberian will know that. How can you address, when you have such a rally, right after the rally, what you should be doing is to either have a press conference and address the burning concerns As a president, the rally took place and someone died. That is something they should be addressing. That is something they should be handling, sending sympathies and condolences to those people. Instead, he is blasting at, look.
Can you imagine? You know, sometimes, let me just say, people that try to really kill people, you know what I'm saying? They say they are clean, they're good, they're not for all. And these are the people going to jail and they stay talking for other people. How you can be the best person in the world, you're the most honest person in the world, you're going to jail. And the people that want to stay here and working. People that go to jail, they're the one talking that we corrupt. But you see, sometimes those that voice out, they're corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Somebody want to now save their life because they go into the dodger of cockroach. You understand? You understand? All the time they do. Yeah. Bunch of ignoramus, macatus,
I've never heard that word before. Bunch of ignoramus and macatus. Macatus is in the dictionary. I guess that's why his name is Dr. Josh Manawia. He's a doctor now. He is inventing his own terminologies. Right? Very interesting. Macatus. Bunch of ignorant. So stand down with this one. You are a macatu and an ignoramus. I didn't say that. The president said that. But that doesn't matter to me. That doesn't matter. What matters is the Liberian people. How important is your vote? Have you sold your birthright by giving your voter card? By selling your voter card? Have you sold your birthright? That's my biggest question to you. Have you sold your birthright? Liberians? This is the spotlight where we bring issues alive, where we discuss issues. Today, Talk TV Media Network conducted a live survey in Foya District. Those of you who didn't watch that, go on Talk TV Media page and watch that. Because I follow it keenly. Every person and every individual. The reporter, our correspondent, was asking three things. Who were they going to vote for in Foya District on the representative level? Who were they going to vote for on the senatorial level? And who were they going to vote for on the presidential level? Today, as I counted the votes, as I followed the live broadcast, Joseph Nyuma Boakai literally carried 80% of today's survey in Foya District. 80%. 80% of today's opinion poll that took place. After that, the senatorial, it was neck to neck between Senator Zako and what's the other senator's name? Gosh, I forgot his name. And then when it came to the representative level, that's just flip out of my mind. That was between Representative Honorable Sakila Nyumaling and Thomas Fala. And they are neck to neck in Foya District. That was amazing, because my mindset was I've had the opinion that Thomas Fala, with what he has been doing and the money he has been pouring in Foya, would have overwhelmingly from that survey today, from that opinion poll today, would have won. But they were neck to neck from that opinion poll. So when you look at that poll, opinion poll that took place today, the Unity Party has a better chance of winning Lofa County. I'm not talking about Kolahun, Vonjama, Zozo, all of those other towns in Lofa County, Because if you do a general survey, it's going to be different. But just for you today, and we will be, just like what we did today, going forward, we'll be telling our reporters to go in the various districts as well. We want to do opinion poll live, because when you do it like that, you get the feel you're not coercing someone as in this one, or you bring certain group of people. Anybody that comes your way, you ask them the 3 questions: senatorial, representative, president. Who are you for? So that's how you would realize the pool is fair enough. But I was not surprised on the presidential level, but the senatorial level and the representative level, I'm shocked. It's going to be a tussle in Foya District for the representative level between Sakila Nyumali and Thomas Fala. And for me, being an independent, I don't even want to get in between them, because they all are sons of Foya. I won't. For me, though, because I run an independent network. That's it. But that's one area, again, we would love to talk about. I would love to talk about, folks. Has to do with coming back to Montserrat, the path to the presidency. What do you think from the wave and what you are seeing? Who do you think is going to win this thing come October 10? Is the National Election Commission prepared to handle this? Well, what's happening? Are they prepared? Will the ballot boxes be present at the polling station on time and in time for people to vote? Because when you delay, when the National Election Commission delay the opening of the polls, that in itself causes problem. They need to be there by 6 a.m. with all parties concerned, at the various polling stations. By 7, open the polls. Let those who are early begin to vote. You don't want the National Election Commission to take responsibility for failure and inaccessibility of the roads condition in the country. That is why the United States is there to observe the election, the process is free and fair. Right? Protect the ballots. Have the ballots on time for people to vote. It is crucial because why? The world is watching. The world is watching these elections in Liberia, because when you compare what just took place in Sierra Leone with President Bill, we don't want that to be repeated in Liberia next door, because Liberia do not want to go back or plunge Liberia into another crisis. We have had enough. Nobody wants that. Because the fear here is those who work in government right now, some of our strong, big supporters, government officials, have already taken most of their family members out of the country. Why are they doing that? Nobody understands. Maybe they are suspecting something. Maybe because they are in the know, because they are the one that are running the government. Why? If you live in the country, you run in the government, and you know that the elections will be free and fair, why are you taking your family out of the country? I don't get it. That's alarming. That's concerning. That's concerning. Hey, those of you following, watching me today, Kumba Avian, welcome to the show. Hey, man, y'all give me more likes over there. First Lady, Naomi Goko, Ade B, all of you guys watching. Happy weekend. Happy weekend to all of you, all our ardent followers over there. We love to have you today. Thank you for coming to Talk TV Media, folks. All the analysis we are giving you here are factual. We don't sugarcoat stuff around here. We don't sugarcoat stuff. We bring you real stuff. For real. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Nobody cares about us. And brothers and sisters, if you want to know how weak we are, and we are weak, look at how we are treated. When African heads of states and government are speaking, the hall is empty. Nobody bothers, because they are saying nothing. Even if they are saying something, it is something that can be ignored. Compare when an African head of state and government is speaking and when the Prime Minister of Little Israel is speaking. They will listen because we are weak and disunited. So we have a weak continent because the spirit of Pan-Africanism disappeared. We are not trading with one another. Intra-African trade is not anything beyond 15%, the lowest anywhere in the world. If you look at all our sectors and look at them, look at our agriculture, almost all African countries are net food importers. There is not a single African country that is in meaningful technology. Not a single African country produces a mobile phone. Yet the single most important ingredient in mobile telephony is to be found in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Not a single African country produces a car other than assembling completely knocked down kits. There is no meaningful production of pharmaceutical products in Africa. It is because we are politically weak, we are economically weak, socially we are disorganized, culturally and spiritually we are confused. That is the continent in which we are today. We unite or we perish. That as I travel along across the world, people do not care about our Tanzanianness or our Ghanaianness or our Kenyanness or our Ethiopianness. In their eyes, we are all Africans. And perhaps that is what we should use as the building block in order to talk about African unity. Nobody.
We should unite or we perish, were the words of Professor Lubumba. We should unite or we perish as Liberians, not just Africans, but we Liberians unite. Are we prepared to come under the banner of peace, the banner of one voice, the banner of prosperity? You know, those of you, I don't know if any of you have seen that prophecy, the Catholic Pope, priest, Michael Kpakala Francis, before he died, he had a prophecy about Liberia. And we are in the third phase of that prophecy. The first phase has come and passed, was fulfilled. A female president after the war. The second phase has come, and that is a young youth for president was going to be picked by his peers to rule, not to lead, to rule. There's a difference between ruling and leading. Because when someone is ruling you, whether you like it or not, you're forced to do it. What they want to do is what they will do. When someone is leading you, there's wisdom in their leading. They are guiding you through the process. They are helping you. They are showing you the way. And and according to that prophecy, that young president, the very people that voted him in power will struggle and they will suffer. Is Liberia not suffering right now? That the only way that you get money on the table, that you get food on the table, is you have to graduate out of school or with a degree, and you go waterside to have a wheelbarrow business or a table, or you get a motorcycle running around town all day to make a living with 2 or 3 degrees in your head. Is that a good society? That the only business. In fact, some of the boys that didn't even go to school are making more money, running motorcycles, than those who actually went to school, spent all their time going to school. That's unfortunate. You go to school, there's no space for you, no job. But that should not deter you from going to school. Because at the end, the latter part of that prophecy, it says, an astute statement will come after that. An astute, one who has the love of country, one who doesn't care about himself. That is the last part, the 3-phase part of that prophecy. That an astute statement will come up, and when the people will elect him overwhelmingly, and he will put Liberia back on the map, and prosperity will reign in the land. That's a prophecy of Michael Pakala Francis, not me. I'm just telling most of you who have not read that prophecy. That was years ago. The first phase and the second phase of that prophecy has been fulfilled. We are in the 3rd phase of that prophecy. That an astute, elderly statement will rise up, and the people will elect him overwhelmingly. And Liberia and the world will respect him. And Liberia will be respected and restored in a committee of nations. And prosperity will reign in the land. Who doesn't want that? But God has a way of doing things. God will do Liberia the same way he does with Israel. When the people were asking God to give them a king of their own choosing, give us Saul, and God gave them Saul, and they saw what happened to them. Even at this, if the Liberian people are blind enough to not see beyond this physical, pushing and flooding you with rice and for a short-term gain, and look beyond the long term, the prosperity of the nation, the children that are coming behind us, our grandchildren, our children's children, to see the prosperity of the nation, where it can get. If we look towards that, if we look at the vision, what lies ahead, and forget about what is now, we will make that decision very easy. But the biggest question is, have you made up your mind? At this point, you should already by now. You should know who to vote, and nobody else will come and convince you. Have you made up your mind? George Weah or Unity Party or JMB? Who are you going to vote for? To whom are you going? Right? We'll talk about the tangibles. And this is where the CDC, we have the tangibles. That is the new word that is loosely being used around these days right now in Liberia from the CDC camp. The tangibles, the tangible. What are the tangibles? They cannot talk about the tangibles. They cannot tell you anything guarantee about the tangibles. What tangibles are you talking about? The roles that were already set up by the previous government only for you to come and execute. The tangibles, the Rabafi Highway that has been destroyed. Are these some of the tangibles you're talking about? The tangibles, the harmonization cutting people's salary, and you say you're paying their school fee? Are those the tangibles? Liberia must wake up from the decadence of poverty and rise up to the zenith of prosperity. That is what Liberia and Liberians yearn for. Liberia must wake up from her slumber. We have been sleeping too long. We have been sleeping too long. We must preach the right message. There's a saying that Bob Marley or Lucky Dube said that stand alone. Even if you have to stand. Stand for what is right, even if you have to stand alone. Stand for what is right. So I'm here to tell you, stand for the truth. Stand for prosperity. Stand for good governance. Stand for accountability. Stand for good roads. Stand for a good educational system. Stand for a better healthcare system. Stand up for what is right. My people, stand up for what is right. Aaron Masale, thanks for following us. Makala, B5, thanks for watching us. All of you following us today on different various platforms. Simultaneously, Talk TV Media Network broadcasts on 6 different platforms. You know, even as we speak, there is another campaign going on right now as we speak. An official endorsement program of the Unity Party auxiliaries groups is taking place right now. The people are tired. The people are tired. What shall we do? Shall we go to the mountains? Shall we go to the rivers? Shall we go to the churches? Shall we go to God? Shall we go to the Zome for answers? To whom shall we go? To whom shall we go? The good old scriptures says, I lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. That's God's word. The good psalmist in the Bible, Psalms 121. So today, I ask you to rise up with me, that we lift up our eyes onto the hills to God, that Liberia will rise up and lift up her eyes to the hills to God. Because the only person that can change the heart of man is God. The only person that can remove the veil out of your eyes, the blindness out of your eyes, to see reason, to speak truth to power, is God. So the psalmist said, I lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. He says further that my help cometh from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Your help doesn't come from George Weah. Your help doesn't come from Joseph Boakai either. Liberia's help. Liberia is only using those people as instruments to fulfill Liberia's destiny. Liberia needs a good manager. Those of us who are managers, we understand what a managerial role looks like. Because when you are hired to run a company, you must first of all know that that company is not your company, it's not your personal property. That is what we need to understand, that it is an opportunity. The people believe in you to hire you to run that company. And you want to leave a legacy behind that is unforgotten. That is it. So Liberians, you need to realize that you are the employer, not employee. You are the one employing, and you have the right to do that on October 10th, to employ the right manager. Because when you are employing, you must do what we call background check. Any vibrant company, whenever you are doing an employment, you open employment, whatever position it is, you do background check, because you want to know that the person that you are hiring has the requisite technical know-how, the experience in the area that you are hiring them, that they have the character and the moral compass to deliver. That's it. So my message to you, Liberians, is you have an opening, a job opening. You have a job opening. And who are you going to hire? George Weah, Tewan Gonglo, Joseph Nyumaboka, Moniba, and the likes. Who are you going to hire? This thing is already settled. It's going to end up between the CDC and the Unity Party. It is a war. It is a fight that's going to be between George Weah and Joseph Nyumaboka. Now you have two employees. Two. And who are you going to hire come October 10th? Who could be a better manager to manage well, with accountability, with proficiency and efficiency? Who will you hire that will open the nation's economy, that the floodgates of prosperity will come in, that investors will come from all far and near and say, Liberia is where we're going. We need to invest in Liberia. Who are you going to hire that will have good relationship with Uncle Sam, the United States of America? Bear in mind, if you sit ignorantly and say, oh, we don't need to have a relationship with Uncle Sam America, you fool yourself. You fail. And you need someone who has that connections. You need someone who has that technical know-how, that diplomacy, who understands how the system works, how to get in between there and negotiate in favor of Liberia, not to settle. That is what we need. We need a person. But come October 10th, you the Liberians, it is your decision to make. You need to get out and vote. You need to get out. Don't give up. Even if it is going to take you all day standing in line, stand in line and vote. Because it is your solemn duty as a citizen to the nation. If you don't make that decision, those who are going to vote will make that decision for you for the next 6 years. That's it, folks. I speak truth to power. I don't compromise. Like me, don't like me, I speak truth to power. Objectively too. Now, the mentality most of the Liberians have is whether if you're not, they will categorize you. If you're not on the CDC side, they already will categorize you as you on the Unity Party side. If you're not on the Unity Party side, they will automatically cancel you out and say you're a sedition. That's cheap politics. You don't want that. And politics in Africa is nothing but hatred. So because I'm on the other side, that means you hate me. That means I'm your enemy. No. You know how we do it? You know how it's done in the Western world? We can stand and on ideologies, different ideologies, and argue them out and fight. At the end of the day, we go to the Burger King, we go to the same restaurant and sit and eat together and laugh. Because the only difference between you and I is the policies, what you stand for and what I stand for. But at the end of the day, Liberia is all we have. Liberia is all we have at the end of the day. So the fight is on. The gloves has come out. But with the gloves being out, that doesn't give us the right to destroy the nation. We are praying for peace. We are praying for peace and prosperity. We are praying for a peaceful election to take place. Follow the legacy of people like this that have come before us and are gone, and they left a sound legacy. Huh?
Foot down and insisted in being respected, even though we're prisoners.
She said, who are you to ask for my name? What's your name?
You have a limited time to stay on earth.
We do not care whether the cat is black or white, as long as it can catch mice.
But humility is one of the most important qualities which you must have.
I was paralyzed because he made my day.
Our attitude towards any country is determined by the attitude of that country to our struggle. But our brain said, if you don't talk to this man, your country will go up in flames.
It is the desire of every freedom fighter to disappear under a cloud of glory.
Freedom fighter, one with a character, one that has led, one that believed in a cause. President Nelson Mandela, the late. We all remember that. 27 years in jail. Came out and became president of South Africa. And he was a good leader. One of a kind. One of a kind. That is what we need. Folks, my show time over. But I gotta play the people commercial because they pay for it. So y'all might not blame me. I tell the other people, I say, if y'all want commercial, y'all need to contact us. The JMB people working, making use of every medium and every platform necessary available to them. You know, contact our TV Media Network. You need to come on the show. You have a message for the Liberian people. You know, you want to advertise your party's platform or interest. Talk TV Media is here because we are the voice for the voiceless. We go places where others do not go. We speak for the voiceless. We speak truth to power. So those of you that don't like JMB or the Unity Party, I have to play the people commercial or else I'll be in trouble. So y'all listen here and watch.
In the heart of Liberia, a transformative movement is underway. Joe Boakai, a dedicated leader with a vision, is on the brink of victory. He is at 44.6% of the vote. He needs only 5.5% to win. But he needs you to make it a reality. Join the movement at joebokai.com and be part of this exciting new era. Your support is vital. With every contribution, whether it's $1,000, $500, or even $20, you're driving positive change. Your generosity helps Joe Boakai and the rescue team reach every corner of Liberia, spreading hope and securing votes. Liberia's destiny is in your hands. Together you can shape a brighter future. Visit joebokai.com today and be a part of history. Liberia, a nation rich in resources and potential, stands at a crossroads. Its people deserve better than the cycle of corruption and incompetence that has hindered progress for far too long. Liberians are tired of the corruption holding them back. It's time for Liberians to step up and audit the way our government and bring stolen monies back to the country. Join the rescue team in building a stronger and corruption-free Liberia. Your contribution matters more than ever. Joe Boakai, thank you for being a part of this transformative journey.
See the people got their commercial and it looks good. You know, they got their commercial. That's good thing about Unity Party. They know how to run in that campaign. You know, but folks, my time is over, and these are the photos of the week. I'm going to run through the photos, the pictures of the week quickly, and I'll be out of here. So the rescue, that's a rescue, rescue 1, rescue 2, whatever, putting their peace sign up. You know, before they could get that, this is one thing I'm looking at. You see that 2 finger? It's his peace sign. It's a sign of peace that has always lingered, people have always used in the past. And coincidentally, you know, rescue number 2, the Unity Party on the ballot box is number 2. You know, what are they saying? The number 2 is a sign of peace. It's a sign of prosperity. I don't know. Maybe that God himself fighting the battle for JMB here. I think here now is the Pape. The Pape in heaven self fighting battle for the other Pape than Pape to Pape. You know, Jesus and Jowiah. I don't know where Jesus is for Jowiah, but God on the side of the Pape. God is a Pape. So I don't know how we're doing it. These are the pictures of the week, folks. You know, photos of the week. You know, all out there. It's crazy. That's the president and his entire entourage. You know, beautiful week. Beautiful week. People are turning out in masses. Masses. People are coming out. Yeah. A lot of people. A lot of people. A lot of people. These are the pictures of the week, folks. And I'll leave you with this because this is an issue that is creeping in the Liberian society. And this is from one of the lawmakers in the parliament in Ghana. And I want you guys to actually listen to the entire piece. You know, listen to this because Ambassador Kimaya, a few months ago in Zimbabwe, signed a deal for legalizing the gay and lesbian in Liberia. You know, I know those of us that live in the diaspora, it's a sensitive topic, but watch this video from one of the lawmakers in Ghana, what their position is. Does Liberians have the resolve and the fortitude to stand up for what is right?
Because, Mr. Speaker, like it is attributed to Robert Mugabe, if we put 2 men in a room and give them 12 months to produce as an offspring, they cannot produce an offspring. And so, Mr. Speaker, we will continue to stand here. But let me use this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to celebrate Mr. Speaker, who has been a stalwart and a bastion for this bill. But for Mr. Speaker, this bill would most likely have been killed. Mr. Speaker has stood his ground and ensured that this bill has come this far. And I want to use this opportunity with the support of my colleague members of parliament, since we all support this bill, to serve notice to the Western powers that we have taken judicial notice of what they have done to the Speaker of Uganda. After Uganda passed the bill, the sanctions on the Speaker of Uganda's parliament and on the sponsors of those bills, we will serve notice as well that if they replicate same with our Speaker and members of parliament, we will also take action against their business interests in our country. Because they serve in this country and make money from here and take back home. They cannot hold us to ransom. And like has been asked on this floor, Mr. Speaker, why is it that the American Secretary of State has not sanctioned the Secretary of Defense? Because June was declared Pride Month and they had transgender parades. The U.S. Secretary of Defense blocked and stopped a transgender parade on a U.S. Air Force base because he said the U.S. Pentagon, which is their defense headquarters, would not support such activity. Governor DeSantis has passed legislation against open transgender parades in Florida. Why have they not taken on their own citizens? In fact, in 2022 alone, there were 433 actions in State House of Legislatures across the United States, banning and clamping down on homosexuality. The Supreme Court of the United States, SCOTUS, just last week, passed a landmark judgment enforcing the rights of American citizens to refuse to offer services to people on the basis of their faith and because they were LGBTQ. Mr. Speaker, it shows you that even America has realized the error of their judgment and are walking back their steps. Italy in June designated June also as Family Protection Month to counter the Pride Month. Maybe that's something Ghana should begin to consider, that we make June a family values month to celebrate the Ghanaian family value. But Mr. Speaker, in wrapping up, Mr. Speaker, I just want to state that the dangers of homosexuality are grave. Persons who are homosexuals or transgenders, per statistics from the CDC, have at least 6 times higher rates of obesity, substance abuse, and suicidal thoughts than heterosexual people. This has a consequence for our health bill as a country and public health, and we cannot turn a blind eye to this. I want to thank every member of this House who has supported this journey so far, especially the committee as well, in bringing us this far. Mr. Speaker, this bill will be passed to the glory of God. Mr. Speaker, this bill that they say the God we serve is a God of love. Yes, he's a God of love, but he's a God of justice. He gives forgiveness. He gives mercy to those who repent of their sins. He doesn't give mercy to those who stay in their sins. We are willing and ready to offer support to anyone who wants support. But Mr. Speaker, the Old Testament and the New Testament are replete with Bible scripture. I cannot end without quoting the Bible. Mr. Speaker, the Bible is clear. In Leviticus 18:22, it says, do not practice homosexuality. Having sex with another man as with a woman, it is a detestable sin. And for those who say that we are living under the dispensation of grace, the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 6:9-10, don't you realize that those who do wrong will not inherit the kingdom of God? Don't fool yourself. Those who indulge in sexual sin, or who worship idols, or commit adultery, or are male prostitutes, or practice homosexuality, or are thieves or greedy people or drunkards, or abusive or cheat people, none of this will inherit the kingdom of God. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.